10864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1 point more to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field. Back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
It's a busy day around the Oregon Athletic Department. I am happy to report that it is the second day of school, and we still have interns in the building. Well done! Well done! Hey, go ahead, show that wide shot. Show that wide shot for those of you that are here. Andrew's here, Ryan's here, Zoe's here, Gabe's here, and even Alex himself. Look at you. Can you look at the camera, please? Thank you. Alex is even here, everybody. God, it's a great day. Oregon head coach Dan Lanning met with the media after practice just a little while ago. If you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, that's on the horizon. We're going to have some fun today because Rob Mosley will be here in studio. I have some shenanigans planned for him. And we're going to hear from Jeffrey Bossa. He talked to the media yesterday. He's also our guest on the Oregon Football Coaches Show tonight. The Oregon Football Coaches Show live 7 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network. Also on the Oregon Football Facebook, GoDucks YouTube, Oregon Football Twitter. We will have Dan Lanning, head coach with Jerry and Jorgie, and then I will be talking with Jeffrey Bossa coming up tonight. He's got a great story to tell, and I talked to him after practice. He was excited about it. That's, usually a good sign. It leads to a good interview. We also have Matt Ulmer, head coach Oregon volleyball, coming off that win over number 5 Stanford. Ducks firmly in the top 20. Feel like they should be a little higher. I don't know if Coach Ulmer thinks that, but I do. We're going to talk with him. We'll have a little bit of fun with him as well. Also, Steve Stevens, Brandon Dorless, Christian Gonzalez, and then today after practice, Bo Nix, Cam McCormick, Marcus Harper. If you ever miss one of the interviews on Duck Insider, Quack Video's got you covered. Go Ducks YouTube. It's your treasure trove of all things said by Oregon coaches and student athletes. Literally, everything. Literally. Including Matt Ulmer meeting with the media. So you get a little bonus, Matt Ulmer. You're going to have him here in the studio with us in a little while, and then you're also going to hear him talking with the general media on the GoDucks YouTube in just a little while. So, yeah, tonight, though, the Oregon Football Coaches Show, I'm really looking forward to it. Coach Lanning will be – I think he's going to have a lot of good things to say after that win over Washington State. Now getting ready for that 8 o'clock kickoff against Stanford, televised on Fox Sports 1. 6 o'clock pregame show. On the pregame show, scheduled to have Mace Funa, Bucky Irving, and offensive line coach Adrian Clem. Terry Johns has you covered all the way up to kickoff. Let's hear from Dan Lanning. He talked with the media after practice. This coming right off the practice field, and Coach Lanning wastes no time when he comes in and talks to us after practice.
All right, good day of work. Some good prep for Stanford this week. Red area, third down day. Continue want to make that a focus for us as we work to improve, but ready to go play a good opponent.
What do you think of the punting competition so far this week?
It's been good. It's good for our team, compete at every position, but continue to evaluate, see what fits best for us on game day.
EJ Smith's not going to be able to play the rest of the year for them at running back. Phillikins is the backup, and I assume going to replace him. Just your thoughts on how that changes their offense?
Yeah, both good players, right? EJ's a really good player. You hate to see that for a team when they lose a guy. That being said, I think, he's had a lot of experience, so it's not like a huge change for them, and this hasn't been something that's really new. He's been out a little bit the last few weeks.
You also could be down a couple of offensive tackles. Just obviously you're preparing for them regardless, but when it gets closer to game time, does that just change some of the finer points you kind of focus on when it could be different guys?
It can change some minute details. It doesn't change. It's not a wholesale change.
How has the offense performed in those red zone opportunities?
They've done good. Today, I think the offense won a series, defense won a series down there, so it's kind of gone back and forth. Continue to build off of it and work it in practice.
Did you miss the rain?
Yeah. Love it. I'm enjoying it. We talked to the team today about the difference in Rocky 1 and Rocky 3, right? Rocky 3's training with all the lights, he's got all the extra attention and the details, right? And we all know what happened in Rocky 4. He had to go to Russia to get his mind right? He had to go train in the woods. So we want to train in the elements. We want to do it the long, hard way, right? Drink eggs, right? The whole 9 yards. That's what we want.
I know you're a movie buff. Is there a lot of movie references in your pre-practice stuff like that? Is that a frequent thing? From time to
time, right? This week's really about details. We talked a little bit about the equalizer earlier this week, and focusing on the minute details. So when it fits, it fits.
You didn't see Carson out there today. Is that class conflict now the class is underway?
Yeah, just okay. He's actually missed a couple before because of class stuff, but he's good.
Luke did get a couple of opportunities, though. We just didn't have a chance.
Yeah, Luke's had some game opportunities, too, this year. So, yeah, he's done a good job.
First time in a while that your athletes will have to balance being students and athletes. How have you kind of prepared them for this week, having to take on classes, also training for a big week, playing at home in front of students? What has your advice kind of been to them just to kind of get through this week to stay focused on the game this weekend?
Keep the main thing, and then we check classes, right? So it's fun to make sure guys are on time and guys are doing what they're supposed to do. It's the reason we all came here, right, is to get that degree. Obviously, you want to be successful on the football field, but it's a big part of being a student athlete is achieving in the classroom.
What impressed you most with Tanner McKee, Stanford's quarterback?
I think he understands their system really well. They do some stuff that requires quarterback reads, right? That's going to be him making decisions based on box count and stuff like that, and he does a good job making decisions there. He's a true pocket passer, and does a good job delivering it.
In general, would you say not predictive of outcome, Dan, by way of pass rush, but that you talked about how opposing offenses previously got the ball out to the perimeter faster, got the ball out fast. This is more of a prototypical, little bit longer time in the pocket style of offense?
It can be, yeah, for sure. I think we have to prepare ourselves for what's been, what's hurt us all season, right? And what I call copycat teams. Teams are going to do the same things that's hurt you earlier. So we can't just live on the thought process of they're only going to do the things they've done on film so far. They could also look at our film and try to attack us in certain ways. But definitely think they will hold the ball at times a little bit longer. It doesn't mean they'll do it the entire game on Saturday.
To that point, this is like you're saying, it's that time of year after 3-4 games where people start to pick up tendencies, player performance tendencies, those sorts of things, area of the field. How confident you guys on both sides, particularly on offensive, that you're going to have answers for the counters, that if turning to the tight ends a lot in the red zone is so far a characteristic that you'll have an answer for when defenses take that away, and vice versa, that you'll have answers.
Yeah, we've kind of built, we self-scout ourselves pretty close throughout the season, so we've kind of built that as the season goes. If we've shown this look out of a certain formation, be able to build off of it, but always have to have answers. It also means good teams have tendencies, right? If you're a really good team, you have a tendency, right? So we want to be a team that has tendencies at times and able to build off of them and know them.
Have you seen much of their slow mesh stuff? Is that
have we seen it this season?
Just in your career, and kind of what makes it an attractive option for an offense?
It just goes back to what I talked about as far as a box count play. When you start playing split safety defense, 2-eye defense, a lot of times you have to count on one of those players to be in the run fit, right? And when you can run the slow mesh, right, you have to make a decision: is this guy going to show up or not? And then be able to play off of that. So I haven't played against it a lot. It's really similar to the RPO world, right? Just a little bit further down the field.
Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach, meeting with the media just after practice today. If you're live with us here in the 1 o'clock hour, that was from just after practice this morning. Then some of the student athletes went for their lifting program, or talked with them after the lifting program. We have those interviews for you later this week, and they're going up on the Go Ducks YouTube right now if you're live with us today on a Wednesday. When we come back, Rob Mosley's going to join us, editor-in-chief of GoDucks.com. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales. Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Just heard from Coach Lanning. Now you're going to hear from the guy who's going to write about Coach Lanning and the Ducks, Rob Moseley, editor-in-chief, GoDucks.com. And Rob, this one's for you, buddy. Oh, that's good. Well done, sir.
It's just a Diet Mountain Dew.
Hey.
For everybody who's only listening.
That's right. That's good for the audio audience. It's become a Wednesday tradition. And
I got to adjust to the conditions, too, because my normal routine is to get up from football and make my last cup of coffee of the day.
Oh, that's
and
a lot
on
of
Wednesdays, by like Wednesday, like mid-afternoon, I'm like,
sure,
yeah.
But do you feel? You heard the music.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel inspired to like be more fired up? Maybe you need that caffeine because Rocky is now the theme of today because Coach Lanning said so.
How great was that?
Gold.
From a content point of view, which is how we see the world.
That's right.
That was awesome.
It's the only way we see the world.
I got to acknowledge something, though. And this has always been something, this is a really silly thing to like feel guilty about.
Okay.
But this is always something I've felt guilty about. It's even dumber than you think. Rocky was Best Picture the year I was born.
Oh.
So for some reason, I feel like I should probably have seen it.
And you've never seen it.
Because we're of the same era.
Wow.
And I've never seen the first one.
Flag on the play.
Very, very fair.
But you've seen the second one?
I don't think I've seen the second one either.
Have you seen the third one?
Now, is the third one with Clubber Lang?
Yes, Mr. T.
Absolutely.
Okay. You seen the fourth one?
That's the Russian guy, Drago.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Did you see Creed?
No.
Did you see Rocky 5?
No.
No one's seen Rocky 5.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
That's
okay.
with Tommy Gunn. R.I.P., right?
Yeah. So.
No,
Wow.
Love the third one and the fourth one.
So when Scott played that music, see, I thought you'd just like get into Rocky mode.
No,
That's
like
why you
I recognize it. I mean, I know it because that was still in the sequels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the main opening title, right? And it's going by in big letters.
But you don't see like him running up those staircases to the statue.
I've seen. It's one of those cultural references now that you've seen enough clips of it.
Right.
It's like
Thank you, Internet.
Like somebody who's never seen Shawshank has flipped by Shawshank so many times. They've probably seen the whole thing at this point because it's just on so often.
Just in different
and
order.
You just get caught watching 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Yeah. Do you ever do the thing? I really apologize for this, guys. Do you ever do the thing where Shawshank will be on like over and over again, and so you'll watch like the second half and then watch the first half, and that's like, okay, I just watched Shawshank. Yeah,
that's like for me a Christmas Story on like Christmas Eve.
Perfect
Christmas
example.
Day.
Perfect
Like,
example. Yes.
Oh, we opened some presents. Now everyone needed to shower, and we're back for this part again. Oh, he just got his tongue stuck to the pole.
Totally.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Spoilers. So all right, we got to do this in the studio. How many of you have seen Rocky?
Rocky 1, the original.
Rocky 1, the original. Okay, only one other. Gabe's the only one.
Me and
that
Gabe are
hasn't seen it.
bros.
Okay, so you and Gabe are now kindred spirits.
Yes.
How many of you have seen Shawshank Redemption? Okay, Zoe, that's not good.
Yeah, don't tell Zach Lawson that.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies.
Yeah, Zach will just take out one of and just say the best.
The best. It is the best to
Right.
him. Okay. So Rob, I didn't know that we would go completely this direction, but you'll
learn.
Did you drink?
It's like me with the coffee and then the Mountain Dew. You were gone for a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I swear I don't plan to just throw things off track, but I get in here and I just see all my friends.
And you get fired up?
And it's like I
I
relax a little bit.
I noticed that you're in a more like chipper state when the interns are here.
Oh.
Like I think the studio audience really like brings it out of you.
Oh yeah? Like I'm performing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to think it's not like genuine.
It depends on your mood.
Yeah.
It's like I say that like genuinely. You like with the studio audience, you like get up for it.
Yeah. Plus these are my peeps.
Yeah, and
Zoe, we go back so far.
I know. Head intern Zoe. It's been 4 years, Rob.
Everyone's like Alex over there. He's the exception.
And then Alex.
He's a shady character.
He's a Dodgers fan. That's why.
At first I thought it was respect that you put him in the corner. Now I get it. He's sort of been like excommunicated.
Well, we put him there so that he can actually go in and out of the studio while the show's on without anyone knowing.
Yeah.
I
prefer to go through life being unbothered by Alex's presence as well.
Wow.
So I understand.
Wow. Yeah, hey, Alex, do you have anything to say?
He's coming up out of his
Alex,
chair.
You have a microphone.
Yeah.
Ryan, go ahead. Turn Alex's mic on.
Out of fairness, Alex has been kind of trolling me lately.
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about. A different microphone.
The trolling continues.
There he is.
Now I'm being gaslighted?
I don't know. Can you say that again, please?
Gaslot. Gaslot. Tough way to find out about this on live TV, but you are right. I haven't given you a lot of shade, and I don't regret it. So.
No, I think I've probably now justified it retroactively.
Yeah.
Who knew that we were going to be airing out, Yeah. I feel so in the middle.
The good news for someone in your position right now is this would probably be the lamest fight in the history of fights.
Yeah.
It'd be like a couple slaps and then mutual trying to run away.
Yeah, I quit the day before my second grade yellow belt ceremony, so that tells you all I need to know.
He's got more training than I do, though.
Have you watched
I'll have
Cobra
to keep
Kai?
that in mind. No.
Oh. Have you, Alex?
Excuse me?
Have you watched Cobra Kai?
No, I've not.
Okay, so then, I have nothing for either of you.
Anyway,
Ducks.
It's to get that off track after the kind of week we just had. I apologize because there's so many great things to talk about. Yeah.
So
no, I almost responded to the show promotion tweet Monday.
Yeah.
Like if only there were something to talk about.
Yeah.
But you're on the air, and
Well, no, I think you should have.
But yeah, what a phenomenal weekend. And one thing I appreciate about this weekend too is Matt Ulmer comes in after Oregon volleyball just spanks Stanford.
Yep.
And sits down. And he's in a good mood, and he makes no apologies, and he says something like, you got to appreciate these moments. You got to enjoy these moments. And you do. You have to. We've been around at this point. Maybe not some of these children over here. But the rest of us have been around at this point to know that you're riding through some highs and lows in this business. And to have a week like that where what a win for Oregon soccer over Washington.
Then number 15.
What a win for Oregon football and the resiliency they showed. And what a win for volleyball over Stanford.
Then number 5.
Smack Stanford. Sweep them. You have to take a moment to step back and say, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that you want to expect success and you want to – that's the standard around here. And so playing up to that level in some regards, sure, a competitor's going to say, hey, no, that's where we want to be. But you also have to just take a deep breath every once in a while and say, that is awesome.
Well, and what I love is you often are the first to do it on social media, as you are with many things on social media, where you'll sum it up, right? Like, you'll be like, hey, this is what happened. And that does, you see that, I think fans see it, and you're like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
It's cross country. I didn't even mention cross country.
Yeah, they swept
the Dellinger. Yeah. Also on Friday. I mean, it's just, you know, that's it. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, golf and tennis are starting to get going now, but, you know, those are kind of year-round sports. But, you know, the fall sports, cross country, soccer, football, volleyball, to have a weekend like that is not to be taken for granted, and just so happy for all those things. And the other cool thing about volleyball is, like, Graham Abel was at the volleyball match.
Right.
Like, so we had been obviously on the football trip. I watched the win over Washington in soccer at El Sombrero Mexican restaurant in Lewiston, Idaho. Which
I watched it at a similar restaurant.
Maybe I'll have to go back there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because there's good juju there.
Yeah.
So, but so to go to volleyball, to cover them, but to get a chance to celebrate Coach Abel's success with him and just congratulate him, and you know, for Dan Lanning to then shout those guys out on Monday. There's this synergy that, again, not to be taken for granted. That, you know, kind of everybody's rowing the same direction, and
I dig it. It's so true.
To be a Duck.
And, you know, one thing that I continue to think about with these great environments, Graham Abel shouted out the fans for helping him get that win against Washington.
Yeah.
Matt Ulmer shouted out the 4,500 at Matthew Knight Arena for helping him get the win the way they did against Stanford. I still am soaking those sorts of environments up because it wasn't that long ago where, like, you and I were some of the only people in the building, which was just weird.
Obviously, like, the most tangible example, I think, in the last few years that we celebrated in that regard is women's basketball, going from kind of where they were when, like, you know, Adi and Maite were freshmen and playing for like 500 people to then, you know, 5,000 every time out there. But yeah, you know, with the first week of school and getting some students in, you know, you want to capture that sense with fans that, you know, when a team is playing at home, that's just what you do.
Yep.
That, you know, you want to build up those family traditions, those, you know, kind of community traditions, have that culture that, and you know, for just taking volleyball, for example, you know, if that can just be a thing that, hey, volleyball's in town, that's how, you know, if I'm a student on a Friday night, that's how I'm starting my night.
That's right.
You know, because obviously, you guys know, I remember wistfully when, like, the night didn't start till 11 o'clock or something like that. You know, you got it. Well, what are we going to do till then? Well, the volleyball team's at home. We're going to the volleyball match. And as Matt Ulmer said, did you run his audio yet? Mm-hmm. So, as he said, you know, this is a team. There have been some teams in the past where he felt like they were intimidated by an environment. Yeah. But this is a team that's mature enough to truly feed off a crowd. And what better sense of enjoyment can you get out of a home event as a fan to say we can have an impact on the outcome? Yeah. You know, we're not just celebrating our team, we're helping them. Yep. You know, I mean, it's so fun. So, listen, I know right now I'm full homer, full rah-rah, but again, to circle back to Coach Ulmer's comment, you can't take these moments for granted because there's going to come a weeks from now, months from now, hopefully years from now, but, you know,
maybe
unfortunately
never.
It happens cyclically where we're like, man,
that was a rough weekend. And Monday's Duck Insider really sucks.
Yeah, not that we got, you know, how are we going to get through this, you know? It's like those things happen.
That's when I talk about Rocky and Shawshank.
There you go. Unfortunately, I am an idiot and do that even after good
No,
weekends.
it was a good tangent because it makes you think about, you know, all the community and the culture like you talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I love when weeks like this happen, surely because the job is more fun. But then, too, I think that there's a lot to be said for Coach Lanning is able to get up there and say, you know, we talked about Rocky and we talked about the Equalizer and make a movie reference to his team.
I didn't get the Equalizer one. Was that a reference to something?
Yeah, that was about being detail-oriented. It's in the Quack Minute. You'll see it when it goes out in just a little while.
Yeah.
That
I was there.
You were there.
I don't know if I was there.
Right.
But I was there.
Well, you were so happy with the Rocky reference. You were already thinking about, okay, we're going to use this in a few
Nobody's
going to
care what we have to say.
Right.
They're going to just remember Coach talking about. But the other thing that's great about this, too, and with Coach Lanning shouting out Coaches Abel and Ulmer is, and you mentioned like the kind of summary tweet that every once in a while we're so lucky to be able to compile. Obviously, there's a lot of eyeballs on football. And when football can have the success it did in a grander weekend where everybody does, it helps get eyeballs on all those. It elevates everyone. Absolutely.
Yep.
And
rising tide.
And so, you all go on message boards and, fans will be saying, literally, this has never happened in 10 years. Somebody posted on a message board. So now you guys know I'm reading that stuff. I am. Somebody posted about the rotator on GoDucks.com on Monday, and it was like, it was the football win, and then it was the volleyball win, and then it was a soccer win, and then it was cross country, and then some, baseball is recruiting class or something like that.
Class. Yep.
And somebody else is like, oh my, that's freaking awesome. Like, thanks for pointing that out, because obviously the rotator on the website is something I think about probably more than anyone.
Yeah.
Should. But
it is
literally
he is the editor-in-chief of the website. Yes.
And so to have for I think for football to help, get some attention, some deserved attention on those other sports is great to see too, because that is a huge win for the soccer team in terms of what they're trying to do, coming off all their injuries. They still have time to prove that they can be the team they wanted to be this year. And when you get a result like that, it's like, oh, maybe despite all the injuries, despite the kind of uneven start, they can be that team. And, volleyball wants to be a team that can win the Pac-12. If you can't beat Stanford, you're not going to win the Pac-12. So those are both in different ways hugely meaningful wins for those programs, and a lot more people notice than might have otherwise, given kind of the totality of the results.
Yeah, and I think that when that happens, right, it's a chance. We semi-joke about you and I thinking about things from a content perspective, but now suddenly maybe a few more fans are reading about the backstory of soccer getting healthy and Oregon volleyball having a regular offseason for the first time in 3 years, right? I mean, and those sorts of stories become more interesting, and that's what you and I do all the time, but seeing more fans recognizing it with other sports, that's what it's all about.
It gets a lot easier to do our jobs when the teams are performing like they did.
Well, you know what Jerry famously told me? This was like one of the first pieces of advice that Jerry ever gave me. Like 19-year-old Joey heard this from Jerry, and he goes, part of why I've had a good career, and I thought he was going to make a joke because that's what Jerry does. And he said, well, you know what? The truth is that the broadcaster sounds a lot better when the team wins.
Right.
And the broadcaster tends to not sound very good and probably will get fired because he doesn't sound very good when the teams don't win.
Right. No, what I mean, the era that he's been here for.
Yeah, he's seen it all.
Certainly, maybe in hindsight, he would say more than enough of the pre-Kenny Wheaton, to generalize, kind of pre-Kenny Wheaton Oregon football, Oregon athletics. But then to be around for all of that, I mean, he more than any of the rest of us, to truly appreciate how far this department has come.
I check my perspective through him frequently.
For sure.
Just like, hey,
do I have this right? Yeah.
Yeah, like how big of a deal is this?
Right.
Because it's been such a successful rise and really meteoric in a lot of ways, as we've all discussed.
Right.
That's a big deal. So do you know what the trophy is for the Duck Invitational, like first place Duck Invitational for men's tennis? Do you know what the trophy looks like? Have you ever seen it?
I have, because I think we put a photo out of it last year.
So the Duck Invite Singles Champion Trophy. Nils Schielander brought this to the studio because we discussed it, how it is truly magical. It is a rubber duck in all of its like $1 glory, mounted on a stand that has some girth to it. I'm going to be honest with you. Holding it up takes.
It's a little more substantive than
the duck.
Yes.
And so, Rob, I think that this is a great week to say that the Ducks deserve the Rubber Duck Trophy.
Absolutely.
Would you like to hold the Rubber Duck Trophy today?
Yeah, collectively for everyone.
That's right.
Yeah. Congrats to everyone who helped earn this magnificent award.
Well done.
You got it done.
It's maybe the best trophy I've ever seen. I'm going to be
pretty
honest
great
with you. So,
is one of a kind.
Coach Schielander, I've been waiting for the right opportunity to break this out in the studio and really show it for all it's worth, and that was it.
Yeah, probably showed it for all it's worth.
That was it, right there. Yep, that was it.
That
was it. Also, I'm going to leave you with this, Rob. It's a big weekend now upcoming with a bunch of events at home. So football success happens on the road last weekend as part of the weekend we've been discussing. Now it's at home. Starts on Thursday. Number 1 UCLA in town for Oregon soccer. Oregon volleyball, a big weekend again. Starts Friday night. And then Oregon football Saturday night.
Yeah, Thursday might be a little early, although if you're really that into it, if you're here by Thursday for the football game, get to Pape Field. But I think Friday in particular, if for those folks who get to town the night before a game, go to Matthew Knight Arena. This is an Oregon volleyball team with a really high ceiling. Brooke Nunneviller is truly one of the elite players in the history of the program, and we don't have very many chances now to enjoy seeing her play in person. But Mimi Collier is
pretty great.
Phenomenal. Yeah, if she stays on the track that she's on early, her name's gonna be in the record book a lot. So, and they're in a fun place too, where they're really deep. So you never know any given night who there's like 2 or 3 kind of spots in the rotation that at any given night certain players could fill and excel in. So it makes them fun to watch in that way too for those of us who are kind of in the weeds a little bit more. So, but regardless, volleyball is such an exciting sport live. I think you see in some TV numbers people are catching on to that too. But again, this is a team that you can help impact the outcome because they feed off energy, and so if you have a chance, get out there.
Maybe you just channel your inner Rob Moseley, bring his sort of energy like he did today.
Hey.
Good segment, Rob.
Yeah, that was fun, dude.
Good segment. And, I was going to say earlier before we just got going, the caffeine
might not.
It helps you. Yeah. There's a reason for it.
It's even kind of green and yellow.
It really is. There's a reason that Diet Mountain Dew is the official, unofficial beverage of Joey and Rob on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Matt Ulmer's going to be in the studio coming up soon, so you were a good leadoff.
It's good to have me first. Yeah,
you were a good
what a
leadoff
letdown
there.
that would be.
Coming up next, we're going to hear a little bit from Jeffrey Boss. Also, Brad, I see your question about soccer and replays. The man who might have an answer to this very question is Alex Stimson, still sitting here in the studio. He might answer it once Rob is gone. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Oregon volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer coming up. Big weekend that was and a big weekend ahead for his squad. Brad asking a question about Duck soccer. He's asking if there's any way to get replays on the video board. Those of you who have been to Pat Bay Field since the new video board has been installed, the back of the football video board, multi-use, using it at Pat Bay Field a little bit, asking if there's a possibility to get replays. Okay, I asked the question, Brad, and the truth is we're always looking to improve the fan experience. I think that would be great. Technologically, it is not possible currently. Could it happen someday? I'll never say never. Just trying to be like Rocky. It's the theme today. Jeffrey Bossa, he's going to be with us on the Coaches Show tonight, and he was excellent speaking with the media after practice yesterday, talking about a guy who has transitioned from safety to linebacker, and now Duck's using him in some coverage packages. Jeffrey Bossa, a multi-talented dude.
You know, they had a good team last year. They had a good squad. And, you know, it came down to, you know, the last moments, just like last week's game. And so, you know, that's seen as motivation for some of the guys that's still on the team this year, and, you know, some of the new guys who witnessed that game at their other schools. And, you know, they see that as, you know, we just got to learn how to finish better. You know, it shouldn't have even came down to that moment. So we're just prepared for anything they got to throw at us.
This is certainly a team with a lot of size, whether it be a tight end, receiver, whatnot, just a lot of 6'2", 6'4", 6'5" guys. It's always that way. As a guy who's asked to do a lot in coverage at linebacker, just what's unique about that challenge compared to other teams?
Right, no doubt. They for sure have a lot of good tight ends and a lot of good old linemen. So, you know, I feel like they have a good squad, and I feel like I'm still capable with my training that my coaches have put me through, and, like, you know, all the tape that I've watched to still be able to, you know, play in some of the certain packages that we're bringing in with the game. So
it's a pretty big change of offensive philosophy from Washington State to Stanford. How big of a change is that for you guys in practice, trying to, you know, how big of an adjustment is that for you guys to go with their new offense?
Well, first we always say we want to stop the run. So, you know, Stanford is usually like a big, heavy run team. You know, Coach Shaw over there is a good coach and he wants to run the ball. So, you know, that's the first thing we're focused on. And, you know, we'll rally around the pass.
Is that kind of a culture shock for you guys in a sense, you know, going from an air raid to really a run-heavy team on defense and scheming that way?
Nah, not really. I would for sure have to say, you know, because, you know, we're in Pac-12 play now and every team's different. So just preparing every week by week.
How have you gone about, again, you've been on the field a lot in passing situations, so haven't been asked as much as maybe last year to be on run defense as much, to just focusing on that, improving on that in any way, because, like I say, last year is because of injury, guys weren't there. Now with Justin there, with Jackson there, some of those guys are more downhill stylistically. So just how does you go about focusing on your run defense?
No doubt. That's some of the things that I actually focused on in the offseason. You know, that's one of the things I feel like I could add a huge key factor to my game to make me better as an athlete on that field. So that's one of the things I really bought into the film, bought into the meeting room and stuff like that. You know, just striking the sled, working on little things with, you know, the O-lineman here with Coach Clem after practice too. So
you play a really important role in that dime package in a different way, even than a lot of other guys, just because of your skill set and that linebacker and stuff. Particularly when you're asked to play at that center field safety spot. What's that like? Because, you know, until that dime package started this year, we didn't see you drop all the way, you know, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. So.
Right, no doubt. I mean, man, when we first installed it, I kind of got a little bit of tears coming back, but, you know, it was good to, you know, just be back there and, you know, have the coaches trust me and believe in my skill set to be able to put me in that position.
Pass defense as a whole has had some trouble on third down, Jeff. It's not just one guy or anything. You know, it's been kind of spread out. You guys put in all that work to get those third and longs, and then they've been converting at a pretty high rate. How do you guys go about adjusting that, fixing that?
You know, that's one of the things that we looked at right after the game on this last Saturday. You know, we know there's a big elephant in the room and we need to get it fixed. So, you know, that's the things that we're chopping at every day, and our coaches are getting better at it, and we're getting better at it as well.
That's Jeffrey Bossa. Matt Ulmer's here, ladies and gentlemen. We were just discussing. We're gonna get a timeout, so don't go too long here. We were just discussing that what
I don't want to ruin it.
Coach and I talk about before he puts his headset on. We need to just stop, because Coach wants to just come in raw and just go for it. So
I feel like it's A+ material.
Coach Ulmer,
prior to whenever you start asking questions,
the show is now yours.
Wait, this just like that? Oh. This is it? Oh, okay. Well, I heard the energy was good before. and I really did my best to ruin it right now.
Oregon volleyball head coach Matt Ulmer live in the studio next, and I emphasize live on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You're welcome.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Continuing with maybe the best show that we've ever done. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Coach!
You're so confident right now.
Oh, dude, I'm feeling great.
It's weirding me out.
Okay, so I said this to Mose. The broadcaster always sounds better. Like if you're the school broadcaster, always sounds better when the teams are winning, right? Makes our job so much more fun, just like it makes student athletes having more fun. The coaches are having more fun. So I just want to say on behalf of all Duck fans everywhere, thanks for making our lives really fun with a tremendous victory last weekend as part of a big Oregon Athletics weekend, Coach.
And I didn't do anything. I was just there. But
your celebration, I got to tell you, though, was next level good.
Was it good?
It was so good.
The crowd was so great.
Oh, my God, it was awesome.
Oh, the energy of having the students back. Loved that.
Is that your favorite?
How could you not just... Let's go.
Is that your favorite weekend of the year? Like when the first one when students
if we can
are
host
back?
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how do we make that a thing with the Pac-12 that you guys always host that weekend?
I feel like we have mostly.
Yeah.
I think we just missed maybe last year. I feel like we didn't.
And even then, like I feel like this was kind of the first. At least this is how I felt. It was the first like, okay, we're kind of back to normal with fans and facilities. Like that's what this fall has felt like to me. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It felt like a great college atmosphere.
Yeah, man.
I loved it, and our players loved it. You could just see it the way they competed. It was awesome.
You talked about this a little bit after the match, and just with the media a little while ago. And by the way, if you need more Coach Ulmer in your life, you do. Alex Stimson, sitting over here to our right, just posted his media session that took place about an hour and a half ago with everybody outside. So
sorry, buddy.
No, it was great, man.
Okay.
On that note, so I was at the media session, as you know.
The smirk on his face.
It's great. Okay, so I took a couple pictures in anticipation of getting Coach Ulmer a new profile picture. That was my goal here. So the sequence of Coach Ulmer answering a question, it begins with a state of focus and concentration in order to really extract everything possible from the question. Then there's the pondering phase. There's the I need to think about that and give it an intelligent answer.
You're so right.
Which Coach Ulmer is so good at this. He gives that great answer, and then there's the smile and the relaxation, and the perfect answer is given. This is the sequencing of a great interview session. And Coach, I gotta say, that was a master class of how to do an interview session. And can I give you a handshake, sir? No, this is a real handshake. Fabulous stuff.
Golly, it's so true.
Oh,
well,
wow.
The truth is, I have to focus because I'll catch my mind start to think about other things.
Right.
And then it's like, what was that? You know, like how we came on here.
Oh,
like you're serious. You know.
Okay.
And then I really don't know what I want to say. I'm trying to make something up that makes me sound smarter than I am. And then the smirk is, I thought of something funny that I can't actually say. You know. That was the progression.
How often do you say the thing that you think of when you and I do this segment?
Too often, probably.
No, I think it's great.
Yeah. Do you?
See, so the running joke in the studio and also between Coach and I is that we talk about less volleyball in these segments, of course, than Coach does in the media sessions. But that's why you do both interviews, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well-rounded.
Communications strategy.
Sure.
This is strategic communications.
You should go back to my first interview and watch me do the bobble.
Yeah, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
You're not. You are not a bobblehead anymore.
Growth. It was like whole body. It was like
well, it's a common thing.
Sway.
So what Coach is talking about is people tend to kind of move back and forth.
Yeah.
When they're standing and answering a question. It's a nerves thing. It's totally normal. I would bet you about 70% of people do it.
I had no idea I was doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
So who pointed it out to you?
Everybody.
Oh. I don't think I did.
The cameras were like this, trying to follow me.
Yeah. You know who shot that? It's probably Alex.
Probably.
So, good job, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, buddy. Anyway.
And then I can't tell if you're being serious or not. And I pretty much think you're just making fun of me the whole time. But
no, actually, that was a genuine. I did not anticipate like getting the perfect sequence in the photos.
Yeah.
I was just trying to take a cool picture for you.
Thanks.
And the one I texted you, I actually thought was very good.
How?
Show the third one. This is the one that I texted Coach Ulmer during the interview session, and I said, "Hey, Coach, I mean, just good form, like great interview."
What about that is good form?
I think that's a good, candid picture of answering a question in an interview
I feel like I caught
session.
you right there, or there's where I caught you, and I'm like, "What? Why is Joey here?" That's probably what I was thinking. Is that Joey?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No,
Is that shit?
That's
Joey?
that's over. He was answering a question that Rob Moseley was asking.
Yeah, that's fine. See, I was paying attention to Rob.
See?
Oh
So
my
wait,
gosh.
I have to wonder. Did
But my hair looks pretty good.
Did I cause you to
stutter?
Pause. and have the funny thought come into your head?
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Hey, heck of a weekend.
It was a great weekend.
You talked about the crowd a little bit. We joke, but man, that was cool to see. What a great environment, and you guys have been excellent against Stanford. That's 3 straight wins over Stanford, and you just talked with the media. This is how you win Pac-12 championships. You win matches like that. That was pretty cool.
It was really neat to see our team, I feel like, rise to the occasion. I'm not sure we've always played our best in front of big crowds, especially at home. And I felt like this was maybe the first time where it looked like it fueled us, and I thought that was really neat to watch. And so just the appreciation from both sides. I thought our players really appreciated the fans appreciated the players, and so it was just a really cool environment,
You touched a little bit on the maturity of this group and how that, part of the maturity is that they learn to feed on the home crowd, right?
Yeah, instead of being scared by it or fearful of it. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want to make a mistake. Like, there was none of that. I felt like we were just aggressive the whole time, even if we made a mistake or not. Like, we didn't worry about it at all. And that's totally different than what this group would have done 2 years ago, completely.
How much of the game plan and versus the execution throughout the match was your guys' serve? It felt like the serve was really important.
I thought we executed pretty well. Definitely not flawless by any means, but I thought the intent was great. I felt like Stanford felt pressure the whole time, and Stanford, I mean, their numbers were good. Like, they still scored well. I thought they still, did a lot of things well. But I just felt like to them like they had to make great plays to score, or to stop us. And that's what you want them to feel, right?
4th time this year that Mimi Collier's been the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. She was good again.
Really good. Yeah, and I mean that's not an easy environment for a freshman to step up and make plays. And 6 rotations, she was scoring everywhere, big time side outs, and then her serve, really just. I mean, we had her matched up against an All-American opposite, you know, and I thought she did a great job on her. I mean, Kendall Kipp is one of the best opposites in the country. I think she has national team potential, you know, and I thought Mimi held her, you know, in check. I mean, if you would have said keep her under 200, I'd say we'll take that.
Yeah.
And I thought she did that, and they were coming after. They're a very aggressive serving team, and they served Mimi consistently, and she handled it. And then, you know, in set 2, you know, the one that I think that was really important was to win that second set, and Daly goes back there, and then Mimi goes back there, and she gets 2 aces in a row to get us back into that thing, and then Lise Ferrer, you know, seals the deal. But just so many different areas for Mimi, and just really impressive.
So a good win, and now it's about maintaining the momentum, right? Good to be back. Good to be at home again.
Well, it's great to be home. You know, you just hope that everybody wants to come back again.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully everybody liked the show that they saw, and I mean, it should have been entertaining. You know, and hopefully it's something that they want to come back to. But again, for us, and what I've said from the beginning is it's about the consistency of this now, right? Is this how we play as a group? And I think, you know, the only way for that to happen is if it's a full team effort and everybody's pushing each other each and every day to remind each other that it's not just about that one Stanford game. It's about this is how Oregon plays volleyball.
It is the first week of school. I'd imagine that adds a little bit of a different wrinkle to the whole thing, right? You know, because student athlete, there's an academic commitment now, and time management becomes a focus for your group, I bet.
Yeah, when I was asking everybody, I think they were really excited to go back to class, you know, and they like routine, you know, so this is a chance to really get into that routine, and I think that's a good thing. But yeah, no, this is always, these next few weeks, I feel like every year are always difficult from a sports perspective, because you've been so used to this,
right.
And now, you know, just you're split brained more, right? You got more things on your plate, so. You know, the Arizonas are going to come in and play us really tough, and we'll see how we handle that.
Friday at 6 o'clock, be there, Matthew Knight Arena. It's a big weekend for all of Oregon athletics, and Friday night's going to be fun at Matthew Knight Arena. Do you remember your first day of school?
In college? My master's program? Yeah.
Nothing.
Great day.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking, like.
What did I eat for breakfast?
I was just thinking, though, like, you've
probably
got.
Just a Dr. Pepper.
That sounds like you.
That's probably it.
That answers so
many things. What I loved about my master's program is that everything was a night class.
Oh.
That was great.
Was it? You're a night owl?
If I had the choice, I'd probably not wake up and then stay up.
So you're nocturnal.
Yeah. If I could.
Again, answers.
We practice in the morning here, so and then kids and
so many things are now coming into light. I now understand you. I feel so much better.
What are you?
I don't know. Depends on the day.
Oh.
Honestly, it does.
I feel like that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also explains a
lot. Somebody was asking. This is pretty great. Jeffrey, so have the sandal socks taken off yet? We're working.
The fact that we're talking about it, I think, answers the question.
But
again, I haven't received any proposals yet, which I feel like should happen. So
Scott Phillips with a great suggestion that I'm going to bring to the Oregon marketing staff, and we only have about 30 seconds left before we have to get out of here. So Scott says that we should do a socks and sandals night at Matthew Knight Arena for a volleyball game. Sounds like a great promotion to me.
Absolutely. How about you design the socks?
I would love that.
I'm in. I'll do it.
Matt?
Thanks, buddy.
Ulmer.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Head coach.
What a great energy at the show today. Wow, it felt so good. So good.
Have another great home weekend, will you?
This was your A game today. I haven't seen you smile this much ever. All it takes is winning? That's it. That's all I gotta do. So easy to please. So easy to please.
He's not wrong. Makes the broadcaster sound good. Show's more fun. Thanks for being you.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
When we come back, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll figure something out in the next 2 minutes on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I need your driver's license.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Ah, what a good day in the Country Financial Studio. Rob Moseley, Matt Ulmer, heard from Jeffrey Bossa, heard from Dan Lanning. Tonight, the Oregon Football Coaches Show. Now, I'm not saying that Jerry and Jorgie have a tough act to follow, but I'm saying that Jerry and Jorgie better bring the energy tonight, because there's some vibes around Oregon athletics right now. Number one team in the country, by the way, your Cafe M 2-minute drill, UCLA, is coming into town, 7 o'clock at Pape Field, Oregon soccer. Be there. By the way, it's supposed to be, beautiful this weekend. We're talking low 80s, right as the leaves start to change color. This is what it's all about. 6 o'clock Friday evening, Matthew Knight Arena, Arizona State is in town for Oregon volleyball. 8 o'clock on Saturday, Duck football against Stanford, and then both volleyball and soccer are in action at noon on Sunday. Great weekend. If you're coming into town, you got a lot to do. And if you just got to campus, go out there and support those team students. That's what it's all about. Oh, that was a great environment. I swear this show is not just about the Mountain Dew. But it doesn't hurt. Tonight, Oregon Football Coaches Show, 7 o'clock. You'll want to be there. Go Ducks YouTube has you covered for all the post-practice interviews. Thanks to the Quack Video crew. Alex Stimson, next level. See you tomorrow, everybody.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage